That's right, we're in the schoolyard. Klass One with my big homie, the trailblazer, the pioneer, the originator. The reason why we're here, my man, my big homie, my big bro, Chirs The Glove Taylor.
What's up, y'all? Thank you for having me, Klass.
Yo, so we're gonna do this a little bit different. And I say different because normally my question is, how did you get into hip hop? However, again, this is a bit different because you're the one that kicked the doors for us to have hip hop culture in the West Coast. So my question will be for you, man, did you knew you were doing hip hop?
You know, when we started this, I was in my garage playing records. First I was just playing Cameo and all the soul records, you know, Slave, all the hot records, whatever people were dancing to. It wasn't really rap, but in 1980, wasn't that much rap.
Yeah.
So there was no hip hop at all. Only hip hop was a hip to the hip. It was
Sugar Hill Gang.
Sugar Hill Gang said that, but we didn't call it that. It was just, most people called it rap. But most people that didn't do that called it talk.
Talk. Okay.
If you look on Ice-T's credit on Breaking, it says rap talker. So that's where we were. We were in the very, very beginning. That's the infinite stages. So I didn't realize what it was we were creating, but I knew that they wasn't gonna be able to stop us. Everybody kept saying we was a fad. We was a fad. Flash in the pan, it ain't gonna last. And they just doesn't know, they kept lighting the fire up under us.
Yeah, because the thing is that, like you said, there was no hip hop. You were, me, this is coming from me. I coined you as the first hip hop DJ in the West Coast.
That's funny because watch this. So this is how I met Ice-T. Remember, I'm telling you, I'm playing these records, right? So as I'm learning how to play records, I buy a record called The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel. And then I learn all the moves. This is a record that scratches and cuts and everything in it. So I learned all those moves, reverse engineered it by listening to it. There was no YouTube. I never seen anybody do what I was doing.
Just by ear.
Just by ear. So I figured it out and I started doing it. So I get this job at a club called Radio. So I'm on stage the first night. I'm playing records. People dancing, whatever. Nobody's doing nothing, no hip hop, it's just a regular club, right? So then a guy jumps on stage and says, hey, so-and-so gotta move their car, such and such, you gotta do this. He started giving out orders. Then he starts talking on beat. So while now remember, I never experienced nobody talking while I'm DJing, except for put your hands up in the air, the MC guy that would say, party. He never rapped rhymes. So Ice-T's now, this is Ice-T, right? So he starts to talk about movie car, blah, blah, blah. Then he start doing it on beat, you know? So I'm hearing him kind of on beat, so I make it stay instrumental, right? Hip hop DJ. That's the first performance of a DJ and a rapper in LA in 1983.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Ice.
Now, how's the reaction of the crowd while you were doing it?
They was like loving it. It was regular for them. It wasn't like, oh my God. They were group watching me DJ because I was cutting, scratching, dropping the beat out, doing shit behind my back, elbow, shit like that. And so we started to watch the DJ revolution.
Yeah, because for us in LA, I was my little baby at that time. I was a little class. But see, the thing is that when it comes to cutting and scratching and juggling, we were behind because, you know, New York was already doing it.
That's what people
So that's why in LA, that's what I was going to get into. You know, even though in New York, you had a couple of DJs that were doing pretty much the same thing we were doing out here. Obviously, nobody was seeing it.
So what happens is, so that's why it's called underground. We was doing it at the same time. I saw this TV show called what was it called? The Nas had that show, the one about rap in the beginning on Netflix a few years back. It was a big deal series.
Oh, you talking about
the Get Down.
The Get Down.
And the Get Down, the guy jumps up on the top of the hill and says, hey, you guys should go to the Get Down. And they're like, what's that? And he goes, you don't know what the Get Down is? You don't know who Grandmaster Flash is? You don't know the Rock Steady crew? He started naming all that shit off. and then they went. What I saw when I walked into breaking was exactly what they showed. I mean, not breaking, but radio. Was exactly what they showed for the get down. It was graffiti on the wall, same big ass Kango hat. Then over here, you got a guy painting. You got a DJ. I walked in, it was a guy, it was Shake City. They was DJing.
Shake City Rockers.
Yeah, they was there before me. They
Oh,
was
really?
the DJs there. I relieved them. I was the headliner. I came on after them.
Ah, interesting.
Shake City was there. That means they was there before me. Now, I came a week before and gave them the equipment, but I had never DJed until they was open 1 week.
Now, for those that don't know about Shake City Rockers,
That Suave Smooth,
I think-
DJ Chevy Shank,
Graf.
Booker T, Trevi Trev, that's Shake City.
and the two members of Shake City Rockers, Graf and my boy Craze, they're the ones that did the Radiotron
Crazy was
logo.
graffiti. So Shake City had graffiti, rappers, and DJs. There was a crew. Within radio crew, we also had that. We had Ice-T, me and Egypt, and AJ was the graffiti artist.
Now, Club Radio, correct me if I'm wrong, but Club Radio, I say you guys were the only event that had the whole hip hop elements together.
The only one. So people talk about Uncle Jam's Army, right? So everybody talk about Uncle Jam's Army and hip hop, right? Guess what? When you DJ for Uncle Jam's Army, guess what you could not play? Rap. So how is this a hip hop event when you can't play no rap records? It was a cultural teen event, like that thing that is known for starting hip hop. That was a teen party.
Yeah.
Coke La Rock told us what that was. It wasn't no teen party, remember? Was you there when Coke was talking about what he was DJing? Cool Herc didn't even DJ that party. Coke La Rock did. He was in the bedroom playing the records.
Wow. And Cook's my boy.
Ask him. He gonna tell you.
Coke La Rock, the
He
first
don't
rapper
go
of hip
around-
hop.
Yeah, he don't go around shooting down Herc, but that's like me and Dre. Some of the shit people think Dre did, I did.
Yeah.
So that's just another story. But as far as hip hop, what it is known as, two different types, same thing, that started in radio. It did not start in Compton. It did not start, and look, radio was the beginning of the first hip hop movement in LA, which was what? The Pico Union movement.
That's true.
We started that. We was right there on Pico and 7th. We was in Pico Union. We started that shit. We don't tell, you let people talk, but it's a beginning and it's a fact.
And without Club Radio, there wouldn't be no Breaking movie,
Which made 40 million,
and it wouldn't be no Radiotron.
which came from the movie or Breaking 2. They made money on all that. All of us did. I just did a 40-year anniversary and made money.
Now, how did it feel seeing yourself on the big screen when you
So
watching Breaking?
it was a trip because, so this is what happened. This is what's a trip about my life. When I first started DJing, the first place I played in front of any group of people, DJ Reg used to see me DJing in the backyard at Edwin's and shit. And he saw me it was a Capri Club picnic in 1981. And he had me jump up on the turntables. So the only thing I knew was the whole Another One Bite the Dust set that he had done on, I had them records. So I did Grandmaster Flash and the Wheels of Steel. I did all them, you know, and I took it to good times. I did the whole record and people was like tripping off of it and watching and shit. Reg is the one who gave me my birth. That was before the glove. And so then the streets knew. I'm doing all the house parties and everything. From there I went on the radio and all of that. But so seeing myself on the big screen, when I first started DJing, cameras came out. I did breaking and entering before we did breaking. I saw myself on TV. I was always on TV and shit. It was weird. So my whole life has been on camera almost. So when I saw myself on the movie, it was like only right. You know what I mean? It was like, that's bigger than TV. So yeah.
Yeah, because again, in that time it was so new, so unheard. You know, not like today's where everybody has a camera and everybody's coming.
It was trailblazing.
And that's what I'm talking about. See, my question has always been to all these hip hop legends. How did you guys get into hip hop before becoming this name? But you're different though.
Yeah, I was before hip hop.
You paved the way. You were planting the roots,
We
the foundation.
hip hop in. We kicked the door in, like you said, and it was hard, bro. Let me tell you. Imagine scratching on on your mom's equipment or something. Boy, you tearing up my record player. I used to hear people talk about that because I didn't do that shit. I couldn't touch none of my parents' stuff, so I didn't fuck with it. I got a student loan, and my daddy let me buy some turntables and a mixer. So I did that. Now I had my own shit.
Now I have a question, another question. When did it hit you that it was hip hop in LA? I'm like, that's what it is.
Oh no, you know what it was? So the whole time we was doing radio, before the movie, that was the hottest club going. Dude, the crowd, it was packed, and it was a line around the corner every Friday. Every Friday. And so much so that that's why they wrote the calendar story about the club. You gotta be a happening before they write about it.
Yeah.
They don't write about something that ain't shit and then it blows up. It was a news story. Like, these motherfuckers got it's 13 and over, it's packed, they don't sell alcohol, but you can bring your own, and they in there painting graffiti and spinning on their head, look.
So you already knew, you already knew like, we're doing what New York is doing, but our way, out here.
We were not aware of New York. We thought we was doing something by ourselves. We thought we was doing it. Until I saw the Rocksteady crew on, now remember, it wasn't nothing on television. This is 82, 83. It was the first hip hop documentary supposed to be Star Wars in 1983. Guess what? Breaking and Entering was before that. Our documentary aired the same night as theirs did.
Really?
Yeah, bro. We the first hip hop documentary, Breaking and Entering. Arguably. Before, that's why people talk about documentaries. I'm like, we started that shit. I don't want to make a documentary. I'm over that. What do you mean? Go find me a documentary before Breaking and Entering about anything, music or anything. Anything.
You know, it's a trip that Breaking is the first feature film
About breakdancing.
about hip hop.
And that's why. Now
Because Beat Street came out after Breaking.
Damn right, because the main thing with Breaking was every day we go to work, we was ready to work because we kept saying, if we come out after Beat Street, we gonna lose. We gotta come out before Beat Street. We stuck that in the producer. It was me and Ice-T. We stayed in the producer's head. This was an East Coast, West Coast war. That shit didn't start in the 90s. It started in the 80s. You remember, how would I have ever seen what we were doing? I never been back east. It wasn't on television. There was no movies. So when we thought we were, that was us. We started hip hop until we found out. Yeah, the guys who started the club brought it from New York, and they told us, no, this is the thing. And they was so entrenched. They was b-boys and shit, painters, all that. They was on that side, white dudes. You know how the white dudes in hip hop are true. They, they're not like Leor. They painters or skaters.
And it's a trip
They're
because
like handprints.
We're talking about what, 82, right? That's when the whole movement started.
82.
So we're looking at what, 44 years?
Well,
and looking back,
how
does it make you
are
feel?
You 44 years old?
Yeah.
So look at that. You and hip hop of LA are the same age.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, how does it feel looking back and looking to right now, seeing this type of events, going to all these type of hip hop functions that we have out here nowadays because of what you did, what you contribute?
I love it. All this is copycat stuff though, because I grew up in Watt Stacks. They had groups and vendors. They had rock and roll artists and vendors. It wasn't just that. That's what concessions are. They was selling vinyl. It wasn't nothing but vinyl. We're a recap, but I love it because I love the fact that we're able to bring something that was dead back.
Every time we have a b-boy event, a DJ event, an MC shows, I think about you guys.
We started it.
You guys paved the way, like I said.
And a lot of people got rich and are still making money off of hip hop things. And I think that's wonderful. I want to be one, So I believe that our culture is welcome to everyone. We don't care about race or nothing. Not really, but if you whack, now I have since risen above that now that I'm an elder with the gray hair, but the hip hop in me says if you whack or you a beat biter, we don't fuck with you. But that's a huge element that we're missing. Yeah, they got beat biters everywhere. We used to beat people up for that.
Yeah.
And take their equipment.
I had to prove myself.
You damn right. You
That was a
from
good
LA.
DJ.
You damn right. Let me tell you what happened to Curtis Blow's DJ. I can't remember his name. He used to manage. He managed KRS. I mean, Eric Sermon. Bernard. Bernard told me he was on the road with Curtis Blow, and they were on the road with Confunction and those kind of groups. Every day, they would take bats and break their turntables and their equipment. Till finally, because you know they was like 19 years old, and them was 40-year-old men, so they was kind of afraid. Till one day, one of them stood up. Y'all ain't breaking our shit no more. We can't keep paying $600 for these turntables each. And they fought back, and they was like, you ain't gonna come on here with no records and replace the band. That's what they was on. This the kind of shit we came up on. It's way more dangerous than the shit these kids
The Wild
got.
Wild West.
Dude, hip hop is here at risk of life and limb, okay?
Yeah, true. Because at that time, it wasn't all about love, peace, and unity. There was some rough times.
The only rock and roller I know that got assassinated was John Lennon. And we got Biggie and Tupac, like within a few years. Like our shit was hot, volatile.
Now, not only did you pave the way for the culture, for hip hop culture, but also for the music industry for the West Coast. And I'm looking at that chain, the Death Row. So let's take it back to Rootless and Death Row and Aftermath.
Oh yeah.
You know, what's your greatest production? Your favorite production
Out of all of those.
from all those labels?
So I got like a favorite, man, probably a greatest. They're different.
Because before you answer, just for the record, yes, Dre had help. He had a production team, and you look at him. You're looking at one right now.
Yeah, he didn't have a team. He had me.
For the Death Row, for the Death Row era.
Yeah, I was. Well, yeah. Well, before that, when we was at I was at
Rootless.
So he had me there too. But I wasn't on none of those NWA records. I came in and made the change. So he was working with Justin and Colin and L.A. Dre and all of those cats, and they were working out at Audio Achievements. And this is 1980.
88?
87.
Oh, really?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, 88, because I made him in 89. So this 88, they had Audio Achievements, all that. So I come through. So if you look at all those records, both NWA records, Miss Your Lay, Eazy-E's first album, the DOC, all those albums were done at Audio Achievements. The first record he did on the SSL was The Chronic. And everybody said his sound changed. Well, guess who showed him what an SSL was?
You did.
He had no idea. I had to take him to a studio called Can-Am, right? I used to work there all the time. So I took Dre out to Can-Am, and they had a big ass control room that looked like a 747 cockpit. You know, so I was like, I told him, I said, Dre, remember you was telling me how y'all do the breakdowns? You know, you gotta get Ren and everybody to grab a fader, and then you say now, and boom, the drums, right? And then you gotta bring them back up, and if one of them dudes fuck up, you fuck, right? He's like, yeah. I said, watch this, and I hit a button, all the faders start moving on the board by themselves. He did like this. Oh, snap. I said, this is automation, bro. One man army. You ain't gotta have nobody else in here. He did not know that. But I learned that in '84 when I was doing
Working
breaking.
Reckless?
When I did Reckless. Mixed it on SSL. I did all of those music mixes at Todd AO, and they had a big ass SSL console in there.
Because one of my favorite beats production that you were a part of was Dip Cover.
Yeah.
That's mine.
And that was
Dip Cover is Stranded on Death Row.
Oh, that was not, I made Stranded on Death Row. But Deep Cover, it was Dre and Colin, but they couldn't get the sound right, and so me and Colin, he had a stand-up bass, and I was like, that's not the bass. So that bass line is on a record, and he was trying to copy it, but it didn't sound the same. I said, because we need a Clevenger. He knows basses too. He's like, yeah, we need a Clevenger. So we were at on Santa Monica at that studio right there. It was a record store called Nadine's Music right next door. So me, Dre, and Colin walk over to Nadine's Music. We walking down Santa Monica. He platinum already, right? We working on a Deep Cover, okay? But buy that fucking $5,000 bass, take it back to the studio, and the only thing we did with it was
That's the sound that gave that beat, that touch.
never used it again.
Really?
Never. We don't use it for that. That's how you make legendary records. Something in my heart, he used the synclavier bell, ding, once. Never use it again. That's how you do shit.
Now, with all these years that you've been working with Dre, again, from Rootless to Death Row to Aftermath, let's take it back to 82, 83. Did you ever, like, in your mind, or competing with Dre while Dre was with the Wrecking Crew, doing his thing, and you at Club Radio doing your thing? Did you guys ever, like, came across of competing?
So it was no competition. I was the king of LA. Who gonna compete with me? Like, nobody could do what I was doing. I met a guy called the Egyptian Lover. He was fast, but he didn't scratch. He would do like a wooga wooga. Like, he didn't just stop the record and just scratch on beat and then drop the beat back in. No, they ain't scared to do that shit. I don't give a fuck. So it was no competition ever. It was, let me tell you what people did with me. When they saw, so this is what happens. You go to the gym. Everybody sitting on the sideline. Yeah, we got our team. And then there's a dude. He come in the gym a few hours later and he start dunking on the other side. Hard as fuck. Boom, boom. It's fucking Michael Jordan, right? You think everybody that had a team didn't want him on his team? That's what happened with me. I was a mix master. I was in Uncle Jam's Army. I was in Ultra Wave. I was with Big Daddy Productions.
Oh, you were
I was with the Capri Club. I was in every crew. They all assimilated me. I didn't have no choice. And nobody, you know, I even had my own crew. The Mix Masters went on the road. We went to Arizona and battled me, Tony G, Julio G, Bobcat, and we went and battled these Arizona DJs, tore their ass up.
I seen a flyer.
Bobcat got it over. Tony G scratched and bit that record up like that. Over. Bobcat took his shoe off and started scratching with his tennis shoe. They lose. That's what you had with me. Like, there was no competition. I never heard of no Dr. Dre or the Wrecking Crew or Surgery. I never played that record. I never heard of it, ever. Until later, like the 90s, like literally, or when I started seeing the people, I heard Turn Out the Lights. Remember that one?
Back in 87?
Ah, yeah.
Something like that?
That's the one I heard. The lines of the World Crash Wrecking Crew, Turn Out the Lights. Never heard Surgery. You never played on the radio or nothing. You know, it wasn't really.
It was irrelevant for what you're doing at the time.
It wasn't reckless. You know what I mean? It wasn't on Freak Beat Records. You know what I'm saying? You know, it wasn't yes. Now you say, you know, it wasn't that. It wasn't Egypt. It was just Surgery. It wasn't.
It must be a crazy feeling because, again, when I think about the 80s, what you guys were doing, it was just you guys were revolutionizing a movement that nobody knew what was going on. Everybody was just going along with the flow.
And they didn't understand
Then
or get it.
Fast forward a couple of years and
Became a massive industry. It's an industry. Because trucks and planes have to move the product. It ain't just like an MP3 that you can download. That's a business.
now here's one before you take off. I gotta give you your props, cause you know we're talking about you've been doing it since the early '80s.
Keep this thing in my hands.
Right? You've been doing it since the early '80s, and you're still involved in the culture, still giving back. And what I'm talking about, you have an upcoming event.
Yes.
You know,
we have an upcoming.
Yeah.
Starting off small in a nice art gallery up in North La Cienega in West Hollywood. Tower Vinyls. You might be looking reminiscent of Tower Records, but the kids call them vinyls. And these old school, young schools, they can't get with the vinyls. It's vinyl, not vinyls.
Hey, youngsters,
You're gonna be telling kids that forever. Fuck that. It's vinyls. You agree with them, they'll stop saying it. You're gonna notice that.
But these little youngsters, man, I guess you can't beat them, join them.
You gotta join them and then they'll stop.
But here's my next question. What keeps you going?
Life and love. This is all I ever did. I've been in this since I was 17, 18.
Because most cats will say like, been there, done that, I already did it. You know, I'm moving on, doing something different.
Well, I am. I've been a producer, I've been an engineer, now I'm a rapper. I've been a singer, now I rap and sing. And I produce myself. And so I got my own album I've left some things. I didn't leave them behind. I only do them for myself. I won't produce anybody else, but I'll produce me.
And that's crazy because you've been doing production since 84 for the Breaking soundtrack?
83, because I did the Breaking and Entering. We made songs
Breaking
for that.
and Entering. So we're talking about 83. We're talking about more than 40 years, and you finally start dropping rhymes.
I didn't even know I could do it.
Why now?
So a friend of mine,
Challenge?
Tony Hasbrook, he came up to me. He's my Dominican cousin, right? He came up to me. He was from a legendary group called Los Correctos, right? They loved what just me and said, you should rap. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they were like, my buddy was like, I'm gonna have my boys write you something. Because he got these Latin writers, right? So he wrote me a rhyme in Spanish, right? And so I speak Spanish, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna say this. This is Papi Chulo, hey mami, all the bullshit, right? I said, so what I did was, I took one of their verses and I rapped his verse. And when he heard me rap that shit, he said, you keep that verse. And now I know how to write for you. I write like I write for myself. You can say it. They thought I was gonna be stumbling over the words and shit. You say it, I can mimic it, and then I'll understand it. I mean, bruh. So I did that. They loved it, and I liked doing it. And I was like, wow. And so in the process of doing that, I had to, it was written for me, but you know, this is the thing with a writer. They don't know you. So they don't know how to write for you. So it was, he wrote some shit about Def Jam and some other shit in there, just putting hip hop stuff. So I switched it up, and that's the first time I wrote a rap. I changed from Def Jam to Death Row OG, Aftermath. I said, what I say? Aftermath. I said, Ruthless Aftermath, Death Row OG, something. And I started writing that, and I was like, okay. Then I spit it, and it was cool. So then he wrote me another song. He wrote one verse. I was sitting on my porch, and I said, you know what? I think I can do this shit. And so I took the first line of the Benjamins. What do you say? All of the Benjamins. What you want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers,
big ballers.
Right. So I said, what you want to do? Something, big thumb with it, and I just started writing from there.
Nice.
Wrote a whole verse, rapped it, and it's a song called No Confío on my album, right? So I just never stopped from there. And my buddies are telling me they're getting better. The rhymes are getting better.
You are.
And that's, you say that too. It's like, because now I've always talked about what I do and keep it real. Because my daughter told me, at the time she was 16. She's like, I said, what do you guys like about artists? They keep it real. If you're real and you have bars, then you're dope. And she said, you got bars, like when you talk, you always say something that people catch. That's a bar. And then, you know how you be with your boys and they'll say, oh, that's a bar, right? So I do that a lot. So I just started writing those down. I got a notepad in my phone and say bars. Whenever I say something I think sounds cool, I write it.
Got them. Nice.
Then I convert them into songs. When I get an idea or a beat hit me, I get the vibe. What do I want to write about? It's usually girls or chilling or smoking or some cool shit, right? I want my music to be a getaway for people, not no fucking.
Because right now I'm hooked. Because going back from 83 to 84 to Reckless, going to Stranded on Death Row, going to Doggy Dog World, California Love, Phone Tap, Explosive, all these joints that you were behind in production.
You make that sound good.
Now you got this new one. I forget the name. What's the name of the game?
Mob Doctor.
Mob Doctor.
It's a cool, smooth joint too.
Banging. It's banging.
So you know I have to talk that shit because everybody knows the Dr. Dre, but they don't know that. So this is the thing about the Mob Doctor. I feel like people. So I watched this show called The Blacklist, right? It's a whole world with CIA and espionage and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever a motherfucker gets shot, they can't go to the hospital. This motherfucking Blacklist, what's his name? Raymond Reddington. He's so rich. He got abandoned warehouses with medical facilities built into them, with fully staffed motherfuckers on standby getting paid. He got little baby hospitals. Mob doctors, they call a dude that had a license, that was a great surgeon that's fucked now. They pay him cash, half a ticket. He come in and fix him up. No questions asked. They know he can do it. They just ain't got no license. So Dr. Dre. Record labels call Dr. Dre because he got the license. He got the name. They don't know I'm in an abandoned warehouse doing the same shit. I can make anything. I believe that there's always someone that can beat you at your own game.
Of course.
And I believe that I could beat that dude at his own game. And that's why he hired me.
Which makes everybody step their game up. And that's how he came out with all these classic beats.
And I got a song with him called Unfinished Business. It's me and Dre.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna drop that in a few days. You're gonna be tripping.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
hard too. But yeah, man, I gotta say, it was great talking to you. My car's in the red. I hope it's good.
And again, I just want to give you your flowers for giving us the hip hop culture right here in the West
For
Coast.
LA, we was for that.
Because without this man, for his contributions, we wouldn't be here. To keep it 100.
There will be no.
I gotta keep
Not
it a
like
buck.
it is.
I gotta keep it a buck. We got hip hop in LA because of what you did in 82, 83, 84.
Yeah, I was part of that, man. Me, Ice-T, we was a movement. It was fun too.
Not just a movement for the hip hop culture, but for the rap music industry.
We
Because
created.
nobody in the West Coast was into production. Am I right or wrong?
Me and Ice-T got the first platinum plaque for doing any rap thing in LA.
See what I'm talking about? Because
By many years.
even though we did have a disco, what was it? Disco rap records.
No,
With
yeah.
Disco Daddy.
Yeah, Disco Daddy.
But
He did that
you
gigolo rap.
were behind that production too.
No.
But what I'm
That
saying
was
is
him.
that
That was
you
83,
you
I
and Ice just took it to a whole different level.
That was Ice. That guy's mouth and voice took it to another level. He was everybody likes to say I was his DJ. No, he was my rapper. Who comes to okay, you been to a picnic?
Now let's have some science, because I'm glad you brought that up real quick before you take off. Yeah, back then it wasn't the rapper with the DJ. It was the DJ with the rapper
And the equipment.
and the equipment.
And the mic.
Speak on it real quick before you
The
shake.
DJ had the mic. You couldn't even rap if I say I ain't got no mic. Oh, damn. And I could just play records all day and not worry about no motherfucker talking. Or I could say, here go the mic and start cutting and let them go. It's already gonna be a party. They're not gonna not stop dancing because he ain't rapping. He getting, that's called clout chase. That's the clout chase. Oh, it's packed, let me get down. Not, oh, it's empty, let me get down and make it packed. That's me. Do you ever notice that I always play early at these things? You know why?
Yeah.
Because I bring people to the stage. Somebody told me that. And every time I DJ, after I'm done, it's crowded. Whenever I do the delicious thing, it'd be nobody, they're all out there shopping. If I start playing records, we had some people watching us just now. They was gathering around and shit right over here.
Yeah, because back then the MCs were the hype men for the DJs.
That's what they said. DJ gets you hype without an MC. Ask Handprints. We don't need
True.
no MC.
That's true. Facts.
I used to blow the top off.
You let the hands do.
Girl, bro, I used to blow the top. I could play I Want Her by Keith Sweat at 155 in 1985, and I guarantee you I could fuck every girl on the dance floor. Am I lying? It was about the heat. If you drop it, they not listening. They want the records. They don't want that dude talking. They think they getting the crowd hype because they got participation. When they say put your hands up, they really be going like this. Get out of here. We want to hear the song. You never noticed that?
The jams.
But we just tolerate it, let it go. Some of them are good. Some of them are great.
So again, Glove, thank
Music
you.
don't stop though.
Thanks for stopping at the schoolyard.
Ooh, look at this.
And again,
That's real shit.
without
right
this
there.
man, for his
I was
contributions,
playing records like that.
with the Cure.
At the club, and they graffiti and spitting on their head. This is what I was playing.
Well, technically speaking, any genre is hip hop.
Yeah, that's the part. People
You
don't
know,
get that
any
either.
genre, rock, reggae, soul, you name it. It's
So
all
you gotta
hip
listen to
hop.
my song I got called Serve the Child. I say that same thing, hip hop, rock, blues, same stop, us. The makers of the rhythm, gatekeepers of cool, the things you don't learn in school.
Ooh,
Teach the tools like Socrates. Those are my bars.
See what I mean?
I'm
Dropping
getting there.
rhymes, dropping
I'm
rhymes.
getting there. All right, man, I gotta
Okay,
go.
bro. Thank you, bro. And we're out.